A very pleasant good Friday morning, everyone. Welcome into the Morning Huddle live from First Financial Bank. Terry Slavens with you, along with Eastland Maverick head coach, athletic director Cliff Watkins. If you're out and about, stop by. They have some delicious cookies. I can attest to that myself, as I have tried one or maybe two. So, Coach, thanks so much for stopping in. First of all, you have some special guests in the crowd today.
Well, we do. Mom and new baby Hadley are here.
Hadley was just as happy as a lark over there. Mom says she sleeps every night, all night. You never have to get up with her. Okay, maybe I'm lying about that. Anyway, since you slept good last night,
yes.
That's always good to sleep good on Thursday night. Give Dad some rest so he can get ready for game day. Hey, Coach, last week 34-0 abbreviated ball game, a win for the Mavericks up at Jacksboro. Weather was crazy. I don't know if y'all got there early enough to avoid the storms as far as being in the bus, but I know they had a big storm come through about 5 o'clock. I'm sure y'all were probably already there.
We had gotten there probably 10, 15 minutes before that. We'd gotten there, gotten our stuff unloaded, walked the field, gotten back in the locker room, and about that time the bottom fell out and it starts pouring. It was hailing, and then that's when I met with Coach Hyden, head coach of Jacksboro, and the referee, and started talking about the delay and when we could go out for pregame, and had to push things back a little bit. The good thing about it, a little bit of adversity just because of the weather and a little bit of change and what's going to happen, and the guys stayed focused on the game at hand and came out and played well.
I heard Coach West talking on the Cisco Lobo Morning Huddle a little while ago and said that their cheerleaders got caught in Bryson in that hailstorm, and several cars had some damage and stuff, and very fortunate that there wasn't more damage, because when I came into to Jacksboro and I came from the Mineral Wells direction, I thought lightning had hit somewhere and started a fire, because it looked like smoke, but it was actually the fog from the ice, the hail covering the ground and the heat, because it had been in the 90s, and it was almost zero visibility for about a half a mile, which was really, I'd never seen it before. I'm sure it's happened before. All right, so we played the first half, a good first half, 317 total yards of offense. We go into halftime, and I guess if there's one good thing, the guys never had to play in the rain. I mean, y'all were in the locker room when the storms hit. The band, on the other hand,
they weren't so fortunate.
They were in the middle of their program whenever the announcement came that lightning was within 8 miles, and they scattered. We waited till 9:30, and then the game was called. It was a very good decision, because we would have never got back on the field.
Right.
Actually, Abilene High and San Angelo Central, they resumed their game at 12:30 a.m. after waiting, for that long.
Right. So Breckenridge and Brock were similar to that. It was a long
game, big. So 317 total yards of offense, and I guess we'll go ahead and address this here. Josh Gosnell injured on the second to last play, offensive play for the Mavericks in the ball game with a broken collarbone, and he's out.
Right. Yes. Next to last play, Josh made a good run, and wasn't a dirty hit or anything. Just got tackled and landed on his shoulder and broke his collarbone. So obviously he'll be out. And but we've addressed that. And we talked all week about Josh is a great football player, but we feel like we're a great football team. And people got to step up around him and rally behind whoever comes in to take that spot. And had a great week of practice.
And one thing and unfortunately I have to mention, David and I did sort of jinx the whole thing last week. But the play I saw them getting hurt on, in my mind, was the one where he goes up the middle and the guy that outweighs him by 75 pounds, and he drops his shoulder and tries to bulldoze over. That's not what happened. This was a freak play, 70-some-odd yard run.
70-yard run.
The guy had the angle and was able to get him at about the 3-yard line.
Right.
And I don't know, I'm going to ask your opinion on this. I say that maybe if we're playing on grass rather than turf, maybe it don't break, because ground sometimes will give a little more than that turf.
Right.
But we'd never know.
Right. Who knows?
All right, but he had 130-some-odd yards in offense, or rushing yards in the first half. Spread the ball around with your receivers, which is, Matt Majors, of course, is our go-to guy. But if they're covering him up or double-teaming him, Brant Bailey's really stepped up his catching and receiving in the last couple of games. He had 3 catches for 41 yards. Martinez out of the backfield, 3 catches for 38, and of course Majors 4 for 63. So really spread the ball around, and if they double team Majors, we have some weapons to go to.
Matt's done a great job all year getting open and catching the ball. And the last, I'm going to say, 3-4 ball games, Brant Bailey has come alive and is doing a great job at the tight end position. And the job we thought he would do coming into the year. And he's a force over the middle. And then you got great guys outside, Easton Sanderson and Derek Morris do a good job. You got Caleb Honey and other inside receiver, and then like you said, Chris Martinez coming out of the backfield. So we feel like whatever a defense wants to do to stop Matt or Bailey or whoever they want to key on, we feel like we got other guys that can step up week to week and fill that void. And
defensively, Grandel Thompson, big game last week. He was in double-digit tackles in a half.
Right.
And did he had the forced fumble or fumble recovery?
He had the forced fumble.
He had the forced fumble. Big game for him defensively. Jacksboro had a couple of drives, but the defense really bowed up and made a big stop when they were inside the 10-yard line.
Right, they did. And this is something we've said each week, and hopefully we continue to say that our defense really is improving week in, week out. And you can see it every time we take the field on Friday night. But the big thing is, they're understanding what we're wanting to do. But even more than that, they're playing disciplined football. They're running to the ball, getting a lot of hats to the ball, and then being physical when we get there. That's the key. We talk about every single week. We want to be the most physical team on the field. And it doesn't need to be close. We need to leave, and people say Eastland was the most physical team on the field. Right. And it has been the last few weeks.
I can confirm that. In the press box there at Jacksboro. A very nice press box, I might add. And they had chicken spaghetti for us on top of that.
They don't do that here?
We get concession stand.
Oh, okay.
But the newspaper reporter for Jacksboro comes in and introduces himself, and he said they had played at Millsap the week before. And he said, dang, they're still talking about y'all down there. So that's a good thing. Coach, around the district last week, Cisco 41, Nakona nothing. That was a halftime score. No big surprise there. The Lobos continued to roll.
No, but Nakona's glad it was a half.
Yeah. Henrietta 36, Holiday 2. Holiday our opponent tonight. We'll talk more about them in the closing segment, but I'm not sure, did that game end early as well?
No, that was a full game.
That was a full game.
It was delayed, but they did finish the game. And it was a close game at half. It might have been 12-0, something like that at half, and then Henrietta stretched out in the second half.
City View 60, Millsap 8, and Millsap numbers are down. They did have a JV team, I think, last night over at Cisco, but City View trying to stay in that playoff hunt and pick up a big win there in the district.
Yeah, like we said, City View. When they came to town, they were a better football team than we even expected. We knew they were going to be good. City View, like I said, they got some big games coming up with Henrietta and Cisco, but they're definitely in the hunt.
All right, Coach. We're going to go ahead and take our first break. We'll make it a 3-minute break, then we'll come back with more of the Morning Huddle right here on KATX Sports. And we'll get back into the Morning Huddle live from First Financial Bank. Terry Slavens along with Coach Cliff Watkins. Remind everyone, if you'd like to watch a video episode of the Morning Huddle, it'll be up on eastlandtoday.com at about 3 or 4 o'clock, right?
That's right.
That's right. All right. So check it out over there. Coach, before we get into other district games going on tonight, you and I talking off the air and talking what a great week of practice you had, and the fact that this team has bought into the deal that, hey, we can do this and be okay. And your leadership course, and everybody's positive, everybody's feeling good, and you had a great week of practice.
Right, we did. We had a great week of practice, and last week we had a great week of practice, and we built on that. And we talk about if we want to go play good on Friday nights, we've got to have great days on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's where you're going to win football games, and we got to concentrate on us getting better each week, and not necessarily who we were playing on Friday night. And we went out, and I think we got better every single day. Positive energy at practice, and it was a good week.
All right. Well, Coach, around the district tonight, before the show, we talked about this one. Millsap at Cisco should not be much of a challenge for the Lobos. Millsap down number-wise, and Lobos just continue to roll.
They're rolling, and they'll get a lot of kids playing time.
Lots of playing time for life. It's homecoming over there, so that'll Jacksboro at Henrietta. on paper, Henrietta should win that football game.
Yeah, Jacksboro's banged up and just missing a lot of kids, and Henrietta win that one pretty easily.
And then City View travels to Nakona. Nakona, a team that has already canceled their JV schedule. They just have enough to field a varsity team, and I think 6 or 8 of the varsity players are either freshmen or sophomores. So.
Right. So they're young and don't have a lot of depth. And City View's playing good. That one probably won't be close either.
Last night, JV Red had a shutout victory out here, 47-0 over Holiday.
Yes, JV Red played one of their better games again. Stepped up. I think we gave up 1 first down, if I remember right, and we punted 1 time, I believe. So they all around good effort. JV Black did not have a game, so JV Black haven't had an open week. So what we did is we just kind of split it up half and half. And part of the JV Black kids played with the JV Red last night. The other part are going to play with the JV Red next week in Henrietta, and so some of them got their bye week this week, and some of them get their bye week next week, and that's how we're going to do that. But so we had a lot of kids suited up, and everybody did a good job and did their part and got a good win.
You mentioned holding them to only 1 first down, and I haven't looked. Do you have any idea how many first downs the varsity team has had on the year so far? We had 14 in the first half at Jacksboro.
Right.
And I mention that because First Financial Bank may have to take a loan out from themselves to pay for all the first downs that they're sponsoring. Because I think they're sponsoring $10 first down.
Well, that'd be good.
So $140 and a half.
Right.
So anyway, what do you think, JR? Y'all handle that?
I think we can.
All right. Junior high action, 8th grade team traveled to Holiday.
Traveled to Holiday, got beat 12-8. Was up 8-0. Then Holiday scored, didn't get convert, went up 8, so we were still up 8-6, and got inside their 30-yard line 2 or 3 times and fumbled. And Holiday scored with about 4 or 5 minutes left to go up 12-8, and we could not go back down to score, and they got beat 12-8.
7th grade team?
7th grade won 28-6.
Are they undefeated?
They are.
That 7th grade is
7th
undefeated.
grade has not lost yet.
Wow, so good football game up there for the 7th grade squad.
They played well again.
Black team not in action last night?
No, everybody went
suited up with those guys there.
Yes.
Next week, Henrietta is the opponent. JV will be at Henrietta, and the young guys get to play at home again.
That's right. It's been a couple weeks. The JV will play at 5 o'clock at Henrietta, and 7th grade will start here at 5, followed by the 8th grade.
Visited with Mr. Cochran earlier this week, and he said, "Hey, have you been out to the stadium?" Still working hard to improve Mavericks Stadium. They've added some chain link fencing where we had cattle panels to keep people from falling out.
Right, on the sides and in the front. It's looking good, looking a lot better.
Looking a lot better, and Mr. Cochran, I think he has a vision of what he would like to see out there if we could just get it all pulled together and done, because a lot of it's volunteer work being done to make it happen. But stadium looking good. The grass should be in good shape without any varsity action for a couple of weeks.
Right.
So
there's just been one game each Thursday,
week.
So had been a lot of trample on the field and had some rain, so it's been good.
All right, Coach, we're going to go ahead and take our final break. We'll make this one a 2-minute break, then we'll come back with more of the Morning Huddle right here on KATX Sports.
Just to make things clear, he didn't get up either.
And welcome back to the Morning Huddle here on KATX 97.7. Coach, you're getting harassed by the crowd here. I mean, a tough crowd here as the baby mama is chiming
Might not
in.
be allowed back.
Anyway, tonight we make the road trip, and that's something, so far, our last week was our longest road trip, which Jacksboro was only an hour, a little over an hour and a half. Tonight we go 2+ hours on a yellow dog. How do you prepare the guys for that?
We've talked about it. It's going to be different, and it's a whole different day with the early release and all that kind of stuff. So we've talked about how we're going to handle it. We're going to, right when they get out of school, we're going to come down, have a little walkthrough and a little pregame meal, go through some things, and then get on the bus and head that way, get there at the same time, maybe a little bit earlier, just so we can walk around and relax and have plenty of time to get there and relax before we have to get ready to go play. So try and keep it as normal as we can.
What time is early release day? I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm supposed to pick up my son.
I think 12:05.
Okay.
It's early release.
Really early. Wow. Is that because of the out-of-town football game?
I believe so.
And, of course, I guess if we've done it for holiday, we'll do it again in 2 weeks.
Same thing for Tacoma. Yes.
Holiday Eagles coming into this ball game, coming off a loss last week, like we talked about earlier, 36-2, I believe, to Henrietta, but a close game at half, as you indicated. Well, what can we expect from the holiday offense? I know they're getting some players back that have been out.
Yes. Offensively, run game, they're real similar to what we do. You'll see some trips, but a lot of two-back, twins open stuff, a lot of zone read, a lot of zone where they're going to have a little bubble or hitch screen outside that they can throw if you're going to load the box. So a lot of similarities to what we do in the run game offensively. They'll throw it around some, but they're gonna run quite a bit on the spread.
Defensively, well, of course, teams seem to change what they do defensively when they come to us. But let's talk about what you've seen on film.
Holiday runs a 4-2 split in all their sub-varsities. And they run that on their varsity against primarily heavy run teams. Against teams that are more spread, throwing the ball around, they get in a 3-3 stack and try and bring as much pressure as they possibly can. Play almost primarily one high safety. Sometimes you'll see cover 3. A lot of times it's man free. But that's what they're going to do is they're going to try and disrupt your timing and disrupt your run schemes by just sending all kinds of pressure backers from everywhere they can.
And our offensive line is going to have to be up to the task of giving our quarterback plenty of time to execute the plays.
Yes, and that good thing, have a experienced offensive line with 4 seniors, and gave them all kinds of looks this week. Brought all kinds of stuff at them, and they did a great job having their eyes up, seeing it and picking it up, and that's the key. When you see, obviously your offensive line always have to have their eyes up, but especially when you're seeing all this much pressure, they have to see what's coming and where it's coming from.
All right, Coach, as we've started doing here the last few weeks, let's close this out by comparing your picks to Dale Baker's picks. See, he's not even listening.
He's not
even paying attention. But anyway, the KATX Celebrity Pick'em Contest, David Bailey is no longer in the lead.
Oh, but took the lead.
Dale Baker and David Gibbs are in the lead right now, but David Bailey has fallen out. Let's look at Dale's picks here. Holly at Anson, who do you have?
I'll take Holly.
You agree. Marlin at Dublin.
I don't know anything about Marlin, so I'll just go with Servetto.
Go with Servetto. Toller at Heiko.
I'm going to go with Toller. Heiko's got some people hurt this year.
Permian at Abilene.
Abilene High.
May at Strawn. Let's talk a little 6-man football.
May at Strawn. Well, Mary's, you got to go with Mary's.
Right. So it has nothing to do with his football knowledge. It just has to do with what he likes to eat.
That's right. That's right.
Roosevelt at Spearman.
Oh, I got to go with my brother-in-law, Roosevelt. They could take a hike up to Spearman. A 4-hour trip. Ooh, they're already on the road.
Wow. Coleman at Colorado City.
The Blue Cats. Cambro will be very upset with me right there. He said all week that his hometown's going to win. That's not happening.
Kansas State at Oklahoma.
OU.
Oklahoma State at TCU.
Frogs bounce back.
Can the Cowboys win again against the Giants in Dallas?
It's got to stop at some point, but I'll go with the Cowboys.
All right. Now, you two are not too far off, although I'd really like to see Dale Baker go out of first place also. So, all right, Coach, y'all have a safe trip up there tonight. Thanks so much for stopping by, and thanks to my engineer back in the studio, Blakeney Hodges. Thank you for your time this time. Till next time, I'm Terry Slavens. Have a fabulous weekend, everyone.